Siege warfare has always been at the heart of the Stronghold series. Whether I'm storming a heavily fortified castle or desperately holding out against an enemy's onslaught, siege weapons play a crucial role in every battle. But which ones are the most iconic, devastating, or just plain fun to use? Today I'm diving into the top 10 siege units in the Stronghold series. With so many great siege weapons to choose from, this list wasn't easy to compile, and these are just my personal favourites. Let's begin. Let's kick things off with a true siege weapon classic, the Trebuchet. This beast has been a staple in the Stronghold series since Stronghold 1 and is featured in every entry in the series. The iconic medieval siege weapon allows players to chip away at enemy fortifications from afar, bringing down towers and walls while their opponent's missile defences are powerless to stop them. Offering twice the punch of a catapult and greater range and height, the only way to stop them is to sally forth with knights and hope they aren't cut down by arrows. Failing that, players can always build their own trebuchet and battle it out head to head, praying their treb's accuracy is better than their opponent's, so more rocks find their target. And let's not forget the true joy of the trebuchet in the Stronghold series, the ability to throw all manner of missiles. Be it the fan favourite, a flying disease cow that brings disease upon those who stand where it falls, poisoning soldiers and peasants, or explosive barrels as seen in Stronghold Warlords, or a whole host of different carcasses as seen in Stronghold Crusader 2. The variety of what you can throw and their effect on the battlefield make trebuchets a key player in any Stronghold game, and a fun and engaging siege unit to use, having the potential to drastically alter the tide of battle. A siege unit I have had a lot of fun with in the Stronghold series is the Burning Cart, a cart that is full of hay which can be ignited and thrown at your enemies. This fast moving siege unit is perfect for scattering enemy troops or blocking them from moving. Working similar to demolition ships in Age of Empires, they can be thrown at enemy units to explode and roast them alive.
Buildings are aflame, my lord.
They are also devastating against buildings, with just one cart, should it break through, capable of engulfing an entire castle in flames. They are very vulnerable, however, with just a few arrows or a single slash of a sword causing them to pop, and if they have not been given the attack command and ignited, they will simply crumble into nothing. Burning Carts first featured in Stronghold 2, and then in Legends for the Evil faction, and then in Stronghold 3 and Crusader 2. And for me, they're just a great siege weapon to liven up the battlefield, often leading to suspenseful moments for the player, particularly in multiplayer, where they have to hurry to bring down an onslaught of burning carts before their armies are engulfed in flames. It's truly awesome stuff. So let's get a little wild. The werewolf launcher from Stronghold Legends does exactly what it sounds like. It hurls werewolves over enemy walls, allowing them to quickly overwhelm defenders. As a specific unit to the evil faction, werewolves feel like a mythical evolution to macemen.
We are the macemen!
With their hard-hitting attack and fast pace, and having the ability to launch a unit like that straight over your enemy's walls due to the implementation of the werewolf launcher is just fantastic. This siege unit also allows for a rush on an undefended lord, with werewolves able to quickly pour over the walls with a well built up squad of werewolf launchers, quickly honing in on a lord and overwhelming him before he knows what happened. They are really fun and useful siege unit and one of my favourite siege weapons to use when playing Legends.
A message from Alfred the Great.
My time is at an end.
Stronghold Warlords introduced something I never knew I needed, a medieval rocket launcher, and oh boy is it fun to use. It fires multiple rockets at once, turning groups of enemies, walls and buildings into flaming wreckage, but once used, that's it disbands. When playing Warlords, I often favour the rocket launcher over the trebuchet for its raw explosive power. One rocket will bring down a small tower, but 2 or 3 can bring down the strongest. On impact, the rockets also ignite, providing a great way to set a castle ablaze.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Smells like victory.
For me, they are the perfect unit for bringing down castle defences as an army advances, quickly turning the tide of battle in the attacker's favour. No other weapon in the series does quite the same damage per hit to structures as the rocket launcher, and that just had to see them make the list. Sometimes the simplest method of breaking into a castle can be the most effective. Laddermen are the cheapest and most dangerous siege unit in the Stronghold series, allowing attackers to quickly climb up walls and overwhelm enemy defences. It isn't just their effectiveness, however, that makes Laddermen so great, it's the dimensions they add to the game. Featuring in all Stronghold games except Stronghold Crusader 2, for reasons no one will ever know.
Well, you got me.
by all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
They add a fantastic dynamic to siege warfare. They are vulnerable to missile fire, so bringing them down as they approach feels dramatic and engaging, and once vested against the walls they can be pushed off, by spearmen or pikemen, or sometimes other units depending on the game in the series. The frantic scramble to push ladders off walls when defending, to prevent attackers climbing atop walls, and the mad panic of attacking as you rush units to climb the one remaining ladderman before he is pushed off, add real suspense to siege warfare in Stronghold. And I do hope ladders are never forgotten again, like in Crusader 2, as that was simply a travesty. If you ever wanted a medieval kamikaze unit, the Fire Ox from Stronghold Warlords is it. Carrying barrels of gunpowder, this explosive beast detonates on impact, dealing massive damage to walls, buildings and unlucky troops. And I mean the troops literally explode. Everywhere. It's like something out of the Terrifier. The Fire Ox is great for open field battles, where they can be ran into enemy units doing devastating damage to advancing forces. Like the Burning Cart, however, that seems to be an inspiration for this magnificent beast, the Fire Ox is incredibly vulnerable to missile fire, with just a few arrows often preventing them from ever reaching their target. I just kinda wish Firefly had given them some more HP, as they are amazing fun. They're just often too weak to ever reach a well defended target, with their strongest attribute, like the Burning Cart, being that they can block enemy advances with flames, kinda like manoeuvrable pitch. Another crazy addition from the evil faction in Stronghold Legends to make the list is the stake hurler, which fires massive wooden stakes at enemies, launching them across the map to devastating effect.
Excellent, their granary has been destroyed.
While not your traditional siege weapon, it excels at picking off enemy troops from walls and softening up defences before the main assault. The stake hurler is also great to use in open battle, providing a much larger impact radius than the ballista.
Try our best.
When in groups, they can be truly devastating to attacking forces, particularly excelling in wiping out archers before they are able to help your opponents gain advantage in battle. They're great, and another reason I generally always play as the evil faction in Stronghold Legends.
I like being bad. It makes me happy.
Not all siege units are about offensive, some are about protection, and one of these siege units, the Mantlet, is my favourite. Acting as a fast moving shield, giving archers cover while they advance. Without the Mantlet, archers are incredibly vulnerable when out from behind castle walls or not atop towers. This unit is an essential component of any siege or open field battle in the game, with players often scrambling to restock them in time before their archers or other units are left defenceless from missile fire. The Mantlet may not break down walls, but they ensure troops make it to the castle alive.
Build your castle well.
And in a game where archers reign supreme, that's a big deal. A true siege classic, the Siege Tower. This massive rolling structure allows troops to bypass walls entirely and climb directly into enemy fortifications. In Stronghold, positioning these beasts correctly can make the difference between a successful siege and a total disaster. They are like the ultimate ladders, allowing for the same benefits but without the vulnerability to missile fire.
Horsemen, to the wall! Defend the wall! Send these foul beasts into the abyss!
Due to their toughness, they can even be used to draw missile fire away from their advancing forces, protecting them from some of the incoming missiles. The entries in the series that made Siege Towers make the list, however, are Stronghold Legends and Stronghold Warlords. In both games, units can be placed atop Siege Towers, making them an absolute powerhouse. When playing multiplayer, it is not uncommon to see armies of siege engines manned with archers and crossbows, battling it out across the battlefield, or moving in on a siege to pick off defending forces. They became moving towers in these entries, and it was truly awesome. Last but not least, the War Wagon from Stronghold Crusader 2. Acting similar to how siege towers were often used in Stronghold Legends, these mobile units allowed archers to be seated inside, providing fast-moving missile cover for your forces. They're particularly useful in open battles, allowing for the player to outmaneuver and harass oncoming forces. Kinda like horse archers, but instead of a horse, your archers are sat atop a cart. These type of units, as well as the way siege towers work, are the kind of siege weapons I love to see in Stronghold, really working well with the micromanaging aspects of the game and the power of missile units. They are just great fun to use in open battle. And that wraps up my list of the top 10 siege units in the Stronghold series. Did your favourite make the list, or did I miss out one of your go-to siege weapons? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Stronghold content. Thanks for watching.